You guys, it snowed overnight. We are so excited because it's been super cold. I mean, single digits and no snow here in Southwest Ohio. So I decided to bring my beautiful tulips that we grew inside and bring them outside in the snow for a little photo shoot. So fun! This is really fun for me. Hey friends, welcome back to the Maple Leaf Barn. I'm Libby, and today we are going to be harvesting our hydroponic tulips right here that we grew indoors using an unconventional method that we're testing out, and we're hoping to have these for Valentine's Day. So if you haven't already watched our first video in this series, I encourage you to go check that out. It's talking all about how we're doing this experiment and how we're using Bootstrap Farmer products like their mesh trays and their hydroponic flooding trays. So be sure to go look at that for all of the details regarding how we are doing this. But today we're just harvesting the flowers that are ready to go, and I'm going to be putting them into our fridge out in the garage. There they will stay for a couple of weeks as we're leading up to Valentine's Day. I might sell a few bunches of them to some clients just a la carte, but I'm hoping that they're going to still look really good for our Valentine's Day arrangements. Today is January 18th. So we started these bulbs on either December 25th or 26th. I can't quite remember. But they started rooting and they really shot up fast. So I was kind of surprised to see how quickly they are growing. Let's talk about the varieties that we ordered pre-chilled from our wholesale distributor, Leo Burby. We usually get all of our bulbs or tubers from Leo. So an interesting part of flower farming is that with all of the flooding and the wet season in Holland, a lot of the bulb distributors were not able to get the types of bulbs that people requested here in the States. So some of us ran into some issues trying to get the varieties that we wanted. We actually wanted to grow Columbus and Mondile and Flashpoint, but we weren't actually able to get any of those varieties. We replaced the varieties that we had ordered with other varieties. Of course, I wanted these tulips for Valentine's Day, so I was hoping for some reds, purples, pinks, or white, and I think that we ended up with a good mix of different colors related to Valentine's Day, so it'll all work out. So we ended up getting these varieties from the wholesaler as a replacement. The Canyon variety is this really beautiful dark burgundy, purple, red color. I'm excited to see it because I've never grown it before, and we're excited to see how dark and saturated that color is, which is a fun alternative for a Valentine's Day bouquet. I think it brings kind of that mysterious look to a Valentine's Day bouquet, and we're hoping our clients really enjoy that. And then another double tulip, which is called Secret Princess. And this is supposed to be a white, creamy tulip. And of course, it's a double, so it's going to be really big when it blooms out. And hopefully, just adding that touch of innocence with the white is going to be a good contrast to the other colors in the bouquet. And then lastly, the flowers that we're actually going to be harvesting today. It's the variety Diamond Prince. And honestly, I didn't expect it to be this color. I also didn't expect it to be such a small bloom, but online it kind of didn't show exactly what color it is. Even on the wholesaler's website, I couldn't really find that variety anywhere, but that's what the tag says. And when you're just Googling it, some people have it look kind of pink and some people have it look purple. But these definitely are a very pale pink. So let me show you up close what they look like. So I have it here. I just pulled one out, and this is an experiment that we're doing. So of course it's not as stable, I think, as it could be for having been our first practice round. with hydroponic tulips inside, especially not using traditional forcing bulbs. I'm excited with it. I brought my Stanley out because we all know how tall Stanleys are, and I just wanted you to see how long the stems are in comparison. It's a fun color because pink makes everyone happy, right? So, anyways, this is a pretty good stem length, and even though you see the bulb on, I am going to take that off. So this is an accurate visual of how tall the stem is. With that, let's go ahead and harvest all of the other tulips of this variety. They're ready to go, and let's go ahead and pull them out of the water and get them into the refrigerator. Having never pulled tulips out of a hydroponic tray, I had a little bit of a slow start trying to gently pull them out without hitting the lights or cords or other bulbs in the tray that are still growing. It's definitely easier in some ways pulling the tulips out of the trays, but it's also a little bit more awkward than pulling tulips from the soil outside. That being said, it's pretty straightforward. I just pulled them out of the trays and they easily lifted off even after growing their roots through the mesh trays and our 3D printed platform assists. I had to hold a few while stabilizing them in the tray so I didn't disrupt the other bulbs that are growing. Gently tugging the roots out of these mesh bootstrap farmer trays gives me hope that this is a solid plan for the future with maybe a little bit of perfecting and tweaking. If you followed the first video in the series, you are probably aware that this particular variety that we're harvesting today was the last to be planted in these trays and therefore didn't have the strongest support system, and their bulbs were a little bit odd shaped, causing some of the stems to not really grow super straight forwards. But I'm hoping that just changing a few things and being more proactive in the beginning when putting the bulbs into the trays will really kind of offset that. I think most of these will work really well in our arrangements, but if there are some that are a little too wonky or strange, curved, or whatever, I'll just keep those for myself. We can't wait to update you on the next batch of tulips that are growing for Valentine's Day in a couple of weeks. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next video.